So today I'm going to take you on a journey through one of my concept journals, and this one is really special to me. The reason being, it's a celebratory journal for the safe arrival of my granddaughter Mika, my first grandchild, who was born just over a week ago, and a very special and beautiful young lady she is too. So the concept behind this theme was to draw on her antecedents, the ancestral line coming down, and honouring what everybody has brought within this journal, so that Mika can, as she grows up with the support of her parents and her nanny Lise, understand the stories of the people who travelled before her, and hopefully enjoy some of the activities that they enjoyed. And we're all looking towards living a more holistic, wholesome and sustainable lifestyle now, and I'm sure this little soul will lead the way in many of those hopes and dreams and visions to come. So all my journals, and they're available on my website, which I'll give you details of at the end of this video, have, as I say, their concept. A lot of them are therapeutic journals, so they're about people's development and understanding and growth and enjoyment and having fun and finding their inner child. And they will all have a game, a set of little fun tasks to do that interact with the content of the journal and make it a more profound and holistic experience. Start off with a box. It's a journal box. Journal boxes, I was inspired by a lovely lady called Wendy. She's on YouTube, and her YouTube channel is Wendy's Journal Adventures. And she makes journal boxes along with her other beautiful stuff. So I thought that each of my interactive concept designer journals should be in one of these upcycled boxes. So this is an old games box. I've used the cover with decoupaged it with fabric, with digital cards printed out onto card, like a stock card. Some of the digital designs are from Victoria Designs. She has a shop on Etsy, and various bits of sort of foods and fruits and things which are ephemera that I've bought from the local hobbycraft store. The underneath of the box, as we turn it over, is decoupaged with napkins. So again, it's all to do with natural goodness and wholeness, which is symbolic of our beautiful Mika. So let's have a look at the box then and see what we've got inside. First of all, within the journal we've got a key. Now, this lovely family have just recently moved, before Lisa was born, to, I hope you can see that okay, bring it up to the camera, to a lovely cottage, and it was the Old Bakery. It's actually called the Old Bakery. So this is a key to opening opportunities to new beginnings, and there's a nod here to Lisa's nanny Lise. It's Kathy's mum, and Kathy and her mum love baking and making artisan things, and will be involved in doing some artisan cakes for our creative cafe. Lisa herself has had successful businesses in the past, running restaurants and lovely little coffee shops and whatnot. So I'm hoping this will open up an opportunity for the family to spend many happy hours with little Mika, cooking and making lovely things. So that's sort of unlocking the future a little bit there. So let's have a look at what we've got in here. This is a little housewarming. It is a little fabric house, roses round the door, which the Old Bakery has. Rather lovely. It's just a little fabric herb bag, and in there we've got, you can see that. And in that we've got herbs and essential oils, These are covered in our New Earth Holistic Herbal course, and this was inspired by Janet, who is one of our practitioners who's completed the herbal course, and she makes the most amazing herbal pillows. Her lavender pillows for insomnia are fabulous, and so inspired by the work that she does customised herb pillows. I put together a little welcoming, lovely little potpourri house for them. So I did say that my concept journals, that is, are always very interactive and holistic, and yes, so the interaction with this is a little game or a little set of tasks that are all to do with cooking and whole food and goodness. This interactive task, oops, upside down one, is based on the picnic. I'll just bring that up for you to have a look at. And this is one of the Pat's Garden Oracle cards. Pat was my mother, and she inspired within me the whole Pat's Garden concept, and I run workshops regularly on this. They're all available online, and again details will be available at the end of this video. And it's basically, Pat's Garden is looking at life through garden metaphors at various levels, so I will come back in a little bit to explain this. Picnic, by the way, is about taking time out, enjoying nature, and having fun and sharing, so that's what that little oracle card is doing in there. In here we've got some little beads of different fruits. Obviously she's far too young for this, but when she is older and she's old enough not to put things in her mouth and play with these, they will be available to her for food games, number games, making little chunky jewellery, whatever. They will decide what they can play with later on when it becomes more age appropriate for her. Within this bit we've got the actual picnic, and so we've got a picnic set, little doll's house picnic, and the speciality cake as well to go with that. So that's the nod to Lisa and her previous businesses. The interactive bit is, and this is part of the Charmed Life concept within the jewellery.life website, again details later. Now this is fully furnished, if you like to put it that way, charm bracelets, and this is for Lisa, Nanny Lise, Kathy's mum. Kathy's already got one that I've made with a different concept behind, but the idea is, although it's got all the charms on it at the moment, you can see there, hopefully take it up to the camera for you to have a better look. Strawberries, cookbooks, all sorts of things, plates, knives and forks and spoons, pineapples. The idea is that these charms will be taken off the bracelet, put in the picnic basket, and the idea is that what will have to happen is that, this is a pumpkin for example, you might make a pumpkin soup or something like that. Once you've done that, you can take the charm out of the picnic basket and wear it with pride on the bracelet. So the idea is to work through all of these with various recipes and cooking, and to be able to complete the whole bracelet that way. Interestingly enough, we've got a little dog's bowl on this one, so it includes a special meal to be prepared for Jeff, and Jeff is the family doggy, so we can't miss him out, can we? So that all goes in the little picnic basket as the interactive game for what this book is all about. Now before we look at the main journal, we'll just look at two little Mika journals. She's only a week old, but the way she's going, she'll be writing in these by next week. This is just a little notebook, single signature notebook, plain paper, covered with fabric, the grow your own theme on it, and a little bit of velvet ribbon, just to give it the impression of earth and growing. So this is for her to write her, she can have help from the family of course on this, to write her own recipes, her pictures, grow her own things, and there's a little Mika card here, if you can see all that clearly. Oops, Try and get that out for you to see there. It's just a children's adventure card of different things they can do in the garden. They have got a fabulous piece of land attached to their cottage. So she'll be able to grow lots of lovely things in there, and lots of children's activities there for that. This is to look at the upcycling. It's like a little traveller's notebook, so you can put things in and out. It's got a piece of stretchy elastic across it, so you can add to it. And here we've got Peter Rabbit papers, again from Victoria Designs, those. And just a lot of little collectibles for, like little collectible coins and things like that. If I can get one out for you to see. Oops, try this one. Here we go. Just to play with and see and collect her own little ephemera for putting in there. So yeah, upcycled sausage box out in stock card. Not bad, eh? So now we'll take a look at the journal itself. The boxes I always do actually look like gardens. So that again looks like the grass, and I usually tend to put lavender and chamomile in there so that when you open the box you get the smell with it as well. So let's have a look here, that time side, at the actual journal. The top of the journal, which I hope you can see there, it's got, oops, hopefully that looks like carrots sprouting from the ground on that. It's a 3 signature journal. At the base we've got nod to Lisa's artisan cakes there, you can see that. And also the potting shed. The potting shed is the creative space attached to our online creative cafe, where our online artisans and craftspeople make their wares, which are shown and available for sale on the pottingshed.online, and again details on that at the end of the video. So the Creative Cafe is where we meet regularly and we talk about different projects and how to make them, and chill out and enjoy each other's work. So the dangly bit that we've got here, actually very dangly tangled at the minute, again we've got the cake, we've got natural food here, little corn on the cob growing in the garden, and the medallion, which just said I love to cook. You can see that clearly there. Yeah. Also on the front, I've got a piece of my artwork. This is a photograph that I took, I think it was at Chelsea Flower Show, printed out on fabric, homegrown, and just put it as the frontispiece, you know, on the cover of this. It's just fastened with sari silk. So let's have a little look at the journal together. Okay, as we open the front page then, the initial pocket on the inside has got recipe sheets. So hopefully as a family they can come up with their own recipes and see who creates the best recipe to enjoy, and they can be recorded and stored in there. Hope you can see this front page okay. Potting shed keeps running away. As I lift that up, we've got the Old Bakery as a nod to their lovely new home. This is actually a die cut, hand coloured in, just on stock card with the paper doily and a lace trim to represent the tablecloth inside, and the lovely artisan specialist cakes that they produce. So as we go through, looking at the inside decor, this is a little journaling card. Admits one, I'm just trying to see what that says. And I've got my glasses on as well. It's a specialist patisserie entrance admitting one card. So just a little journal card in there, the tuck spot with a little doily. The papers, as I say, are from, mentioned earlier, Victoria Designs on Etsy, and she does a digital pack called TheOldBakery. So I thought that would be just about right for this particular signature within the journal. So here we've got some journaling cards, a little belly band, tuck spot, stuck together with washi tape on there. And here we've got, again, journaling card, tuck spot, washi tape, tea bag with a tag in, journaling tag. Again, recipes. I'll come back to recipes in a minute, because the recipes are part of another signature and another part of the family story. Again, another little journaling card. This is to represent little specialist cake counter. Got little specialist journaling cards there. Yummy chocolate. Again, journaling area. Specialty cakes. Journal card. Tag, journal tag, both sides. And again, this leads into the second section, which I'm coming to. And again, we've got another selection of specialty cakes along the counter to choose from and journal upon. The tea bag, journaling, coffee bag I think that is, and the journaling card in there. Journal card, old-fashioned culinary advertisements, go back to that in a minute. Again, more journal cards. Notes card. Lovely little culinary postcard. Patisserie, specialist cakes. Bright ideas paperclip here, and again more journaling paper. Herbal tag on here. And again more appetising goodies to journal with. Now this is taking us to the second section that we've arrived at. So this is in honour of Lisa and her businesses and her specialty cakes. This is Meg Willem, and Meg Willem was my grandmother, so great-great-grandmother to Mika, and she loved Meg Willem, my grandmother. She loved my nana. She loved cooking. It was a lifetime thing, and she had this exercise book at school, and she wrote her cooking in there, and so I scanned all that in. And all the papers that she managed to jam-pack inside it, literally jam-pack as well, throughout her life, because cooking was my nana's life. She loved her cooking. I didn't inherit those skills, I have to say. But what I did was scan in a lot of the old Edwardian advertisements at the time that she'd saved and put in her cookery book, and her recipes, which I've included in here. So these are some of them. This is a little cookery book which she had with it. So I just scanned in the cover on there. Again, we've got journaling cards. Old ads. Turn of the century shops. And yeah, Nana's writing deteriorated over the years. Sorry, we knocked the camera there. These are her recipes: royal icing, almond cakes, coconut ice. I love Nana's coffee cake. Follow me, the nostalgia with that is just something else. These are just labels and things from those sort of old Edwardian, sort of late Victorian Edwardian advertisements. So the idea is like a little pantry with all of those in. This is one of Nana's recipes, included as a journaling card. And this is grapefruit wine. Now, I discovered a side of Nana that I hadn't realised existed when I was going through this old cookery book, lifetime cookery book of Nana's. There were an awful lot of recipes on homemade wine. So I am hoping that my son, Mike, who is Mika's dad, we'll also get involved and make lots of homemade wines, and we can even sample some at our creative cafe, which we do online, so it'll be safe to have those at home without having to drive anywhere. Raisin wine, I did tell you, and there's more. Again, more little journaling slots. Look at the writing that she did though. It's amazing, isn't it? I think it took her longer to write up a page of this than it would have done to have cooked whatever she was making. Again, sort of contemporary, well, late Victorian kitchens, little inserts from her book, note space, journaling space, another creative journaling card, postcard, parsnip wine, more journaling space, cards, kitchen equipment, oldie-wordy kitchen equipment, journal card. This is to sort of indicate a tablecloth edge really, but you could, if you wanted to, use some of the charms off the bracelet and actually hook them in there to make that more relevant to some of the recipes, perhaps, if you didn't want them on your bracelet. Yeah, more recipes. These were all taken out of Nana's cookbook. Not such good writing. These were all little advertisements and newspaper cuttings that she kept in that book too. More Nana's stuff. Also bread making. Some of the advertisements that she collected along the way. Lots of journaling space there. Card. This one, belly band, journaling card. Damson wine. It's getting better, folks. And again, some journaling cards that are old advertisements from that time. Which brings us, excuse me, to the final signature, and this is, I suppose, my influence that's being handed down to Mika. And 12 years ago, I set up a place called the Willow Bridge, which was an educational centre for families with children with behavioural problems, and it was a very holistic and family-centred learning process. So we had a polytunnel there, we grew vegetables in the vegetable patch, we had an animal sanctuary, a therapy centre, and we won prizes for this, national prizes on this. So this was a nod to the work that I did, and also Mike, my youngest son, who spent some of his gap year helping us out at the Willow Bridge. So this is all about growing on the land and allotments. These are journal cards. This is back to the land. Planning for the future, journal cards. And this was actually the Willow Bridge project. So we've got a tag card here, journaling card here, if you can see that. And on the back of that, two little lovelies. There's Ruby, my boxer dog, and Daisy, my pet rescue pig. It's part of the animal sanctuary. And they used to run along the Green Mile. The Green Mile was designed by Alan. It was sort of went round the circumference of one of our fields. And we used to do green exercise, and Ruby and Daisy used to lead the way on that. Now, with the Willow Bridge project, this is basically what we did there. So for Mika to see the work that we were all involved in at the Willow Bridge, so there's a little piece of ephemera in there, to inspire her. Oh, put it that way round. To inspire her, hopefully, along the way. Okay, so that's the journaling card there. Again, yours truly helping to set the place up. You can see that. Pulled the place up a bit. It's a journaling card. Again, this is part of the land. So that's where we built a growing area there, converted it into a vegetable garden. Another little journal card there. Another journal card in here. Seeds and growing. We do a lot of that on the herbal course. We always have herb seeds that go out in monthly packs for people to grow their own herbs and home medicines and crafts and cooking recipes and all sorts. Just a little garden journal page. Fill in your own vegetable patches. And this lovely young man is my son Mike, and his gap year at Willowbridge. Did a wonderful job feeding the lambs. He's now busy holding his daughter and doing the same thing there. So again, another little. It's the inheritance part, isn't it? It's getting to know her family. So that had to be in there. So again, little journal card. More journal cards. Journaling space. That's back. No, down to earth. My artwork, which I've just popped with a little bit of colour. On the nutritional goodness. Again, journal cards. Having the right tools for the right job. Another journal card. Tag. The hope vine, not the hot vine. One of our herbs. Go in our sleep pillows. Another journal card. Journaling cards, tuck spots. Back to the future. This is where it's going, isn't it? Hopefully now. We've come out of the pandemic, the lockdown, and I think it's opened people's minds and consciousness to a healthier way to live, a more community-based, a more natural-based society than we've had in the past. So let's look forward to that happening. The Good Life, working on the land, Seeds for Thought, journal card, and a holistic plan. That journal card, journaling how you're going to grow these things, and this one I want to share with you. Again, piece of artwork. That's Chelsea Gardens again, award-winning vegetables. The contribution is something called the Vegetable Patch. Now, the Vegetable Patch is part of the Pat's Garden series of workshops, journaling card. But what it involves is drawing your own vegetable patch. And here we've got an example of a layout for a vegetable patch. And here's one I did earlier. My vegetable patch. Now, when you've drawn that out, if you were to send that across to me or attend one of our online workshops, you would learn how what you've planted and where is a personal, intuitive, nutritional profile that shows you what your diet needs and why. So it will look at the essential vitamins and minerals and trace elements that you could do with to supplement your diet. And once we've done that, we can actually make some homeopathic copies of the various vitamins and minerals, a little bit like micronutrients, but working on an energetic level. So they act as amplifiers for the food that you take in as part of your diet. So you can actually start to personalise your own menus and your own recipes through this particular process. So that, I suppose, is again another sort of nod to the work that I do, which is derived from the whole Pat's Garden, my mum. So again, the influence of the antecedent for little Mika to learn and enjoy. So, yes, there we go. Things there takes us right to the end. And as we reach the end of our journal journey, I would just like to share this journal card with you. It is signed Mother, and it was written on November the 25th, 1917. This was my grandmother's mother. So Mika's great-great-great-grandmother. 1917 was an interesting time, wasn't it? It was coming to the end of the First World War and just before the Spanish flu pandemic in the early 20th century. It's not the sort of thing that you would expect to find in a cookery book, but actually it was totally appropriate. And I'd just like to take a couple of minutes just to read this through to you. Comes a stranger, takes this book, o'er its leaves doth lightly look, lightly laughing turns them o'er, just an album, nothing more. Comes another, one who knows every name this album shows, one who knows these each and all, names and faces doth recall. 30, 40 years are gone, covers soiled and pages torn. Once again this book is read, moistened eyes and downcast head. Written words remembered lie, spoken words forgotten die. This I crave, not gold or fame, loved, remembered be thy name. How appropriate was that when I found that in this book, because I was a bit moist-eyed when I read that. And it does seem very appropriate to the whole theme and concept of this book, how those who've gone before little Mika have probably shaped her environment in all kinds of different ways and different qualities that hopefully she will enjoy in some respect and will be able to relate to through the lovely things that she does in the future with her family. Anyway, that little concept journal, very personal to me, very personal to my family, and an absolute joy to create. I do design concept journals for individuals. I also do therapeutic journals like the Inner Child journals, which is about exploring and processing, finding our creative expression and all those wonderful things that hold us back from the true quality and gifts that we have and we're able to express. They can be seen on my website, and I will again show you more details of that at the end of this video. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining me on a very, very special journey in celebration of little baby Mika. Thank you.